Yes, a very good morning to all of you. Myself, Mahesh Jagdish Pingle, lecturer Electronics Engineering, Government Polytechnic Ambad. Dear students, in our previous lecture, we have discussed about the skywave propagation, and in that particular session, we discussed how exactly the energy or the power can be transferred from one point to the another, and the communication is done from point A to the point B with the help of some ionized layer which are created at the uppermost side of your atmosphere due to the ultraviolet radiations from the sun. And this ionized layer, it is applicable for the reflection of the signal. So suppose this particular is the point A, and suppose this is your point B. So we send the electromagnetic energy towards the ionosphere. Now there is some layer present over there. So different layers we have discussed in our previous lecture. So D layer, E layer, F1, F2 layer. So from if this particular signal get incident on this layer, then it will bend due to the refraction, and due to the refraction process it will return back to the earth surface. So that is nothing but the point B, which is called as the destination. Now in this particular lecture we are going to discuss the next point about the same sky wave propagation, that is the virtual height concept and also the critical frequency concept. Now virtual height means what that we want to learn in this particular lecture. Now suppose this is your earth surface, right? So if this particular shaded portion, if it is earth surface, and suppose your transmitter is placed here at point A, suppose, and you want to send a signal at point B, right? So we are using a skywave communication propagation. So the signal is transmitted, electromagnetic energy is transmitted towards the ionospheric layer. So ionized layer is present over there due to the ultraviolet radiations. Now when this particular electromagnetic ray reaches this particular ionized layer, because of change in refractive index at each and every point on the ionized layer, the refraction process takes place, and because of this refraction process the bending of the signal is done. So signal gets bent due to the refraction process. Once again the signal gets bent due to the refraction process. There is once again a refraction, so signal gets bent, and one certain point will reach that this particular signal will return back to the earth surface, that is called as point B. So we have transport signal from point A to the point B with the help of this particular ionized layer, and within this particular ionized layer the refraction process is responsible for the reflection of the signal, that is return back of the signal to your point B. So this is actual the skywave communication or the propagation process. Now here we want to discuss the concept of the virtual height, what exactly we mean by the virtual height. Now it is interesting to see that if the incident and reflected rays follow the exactly the same path as though the signal would have been reflected from the earth located at a greater height. So if we draw a straight line over here, so it will take some path or some height. Suppose this is your height, and from this particular height the signal gets reflected back. So this particular point, at this particular point we say that the transmitted signal will incident here, and the reflected signal goes toward here, and this is nothing but angle of incidence. So it is called as angle of incidence, right? And this is nothing but the path followed for the reflection, followed for reflection, right? So in actual practical process, the refraction process takes place, bending takes place, and the signal return back. But if we want to observe the reflection of the signal, this particular ray will should be incident to some imaginary layer, and from that particular imaginary layer it should return back. So there should be some angle of incidence. So whatever the path needed for the reflection, it will create the virtual height. So this particular point, so at this particular point we say that this is a virtual height. Virtual height, it is nothing but the imaginary height. So virtual height from your earth surface. So the height is called as virtual height. If the virtual height of layer is known, then it is possible to find the angle of incidence required to return the wave to the ground at a selected point. So if we know the virtual height, then we can easily calculate the angle of incidence, and that angle of incidence, once we know that, then definitely we can easily calculate whatever the time required and details required to return the signal to the earth surface. So this is all about the virtual height. So I will repeat once again and summarize it. The concept of virtual height can be understood by looking this particular figure. The incident wave return back to the earth's surface due to the refraction process. In this process it bends down and gradually and not sharply, but it is interesting to see that the incident and reflected rays follow exactly the same path as though the signal would have been reflected from the surface and located at a greater height. So this particular height, it is an imaginary height and it is called as the virtual height. If the virtual height of the layer is known, then it is possible to find the angle of incidence required to return the wave to the ground at a selected point, right? Now this particular virtual height, it is very much high than that of your actual height. So up to this particular point we can say that it is a actual height, and above the ionized layer, this is nothing but from ground surface, it is your virtual height, right? So this is all about the virtual height. Now let us have a look over the critical frequency concept. Now the critical frequency of the layer is defined as the maximum frequency that is returned back to the earth by the layer when the wave is incident at an angle of 90 degree to it, and the critical frequency of F2 layer is between 5 to 12 megahertz. Means what? If the, suppose this is your virtual height, suppose this particular is the ionized layer, now this is your incident ray, and suppose this is nothing but virtual rays which are communicated, and this is reflection. So within the ionized layer there is a refraction process and the signal will return back. Now if this particular incident angle is of 90 degree, right? So critical frequency defined as if the incident angle is 90 degree normal to it, then what is the maximum frequency that is returned back? Suppose if you have sent some frequency signal and 50 hertz frequency, it is returned back, for example we are taking, or 50 megahertz signal, it is returned back, or 5 megahertz signal itself, it is returned back. So what is the maximum frequency return back? What is the maximum frequency return back? It is nothing but your critical frequency. So I will repeat once again. Suppose this is your ionized layer, this is earth surface, so signal is transmitted here from here, then because of the virtual light some imaginary lines are drawn here. Now if the incident ray makes an 90 degree angle of incidence, so at that time incident angle is at 90 degree angle, then maximum frequency return back to the earth surface, that maximum frequency it is called as the critical frequency. So in summarized view we can say that the maximum frequency return back to the earth's surface when the incident angle is 90 degree, then this particular frequency it is called as the critical frequency. I will repeat once again. The critical frequency of layer is defined as the maximum frequency that is returned back to the earth by that layer when the wave is incident at 90 degree angle normal to it. So for the layer of 52, the critical frequency it is about 5 to 12 megahertz. So thank you very much.